Dad ended it. I'm summing up for you. And I decided to do 3 streams today. One tonight because I'm going to launch in the NLW. Newcastle takes on the Broncos. So coming for that one, stay tuned. And after this one, we have the Newcastle now second attempt at Raiders. Yes.
Went close, moving across the line just last week in that heartbreaker against the Raiders down there at GIO Stadium. Well, today against the Titans, they should be favourites given their positions on the ladder. As the Titans hit the field here, like it was 4 wins so far this season, but last week perhaps they saved their best for last, and they get big Tino back to duty this week after missing last week's win against the Seagulls after being present for the birth of his second child.
Gee, that's good afternoon to you, Warren. Nico on the sideline. Yeah, big Tino, big inclusion into the side. I'll be very surprised if he's not in that Kangaroo touring side for the World Cup at the end of the year. Maybe playing in the front row too. You can put in the block, back row. I'm sure that he'll feature in that side. Last week, 44 points to 24 winners against the Sea Eagles. The shackles were off, it looked like, for the Titans. I hope they play that same sort of style. And AJ Brimson runs the football. I love it when he gets the ball on the arm, he sums up situations, and then he takes off. Should be a good contest here. The Steelers, the St George side, the Dragons, they've won their last 4 here, so they're in good form when they play down here in Wollongong. And Ben Hunt deserves to go out winning the last few games too, doesn't he? He's carried this Dragon side on his back. There's Aaron Woods, 250 games. What an effort in the front row.
Makes his way out with Coco and Buster. And his arms Coco there, kiss for wife Sarah, his mum Rebecca there as well. Scotty Sorensen, teammate for the Sharks, also part of the Guard of Honour. Aaron Woods in game 250 today. At the back of the lineup as Ben Hunt takes the field. He has been so impressive here in 2022 when he signed through to the end of 2023. Negotiations had begun for his contract beyond that. Here is Zach Lomax, the 7-year-old Ruby McClay from the Illawarra Convoy Foundation. Ruby suffers from spinal muscular atrophy. Ruby's struck up quite a relationship in recent times, and Zach asked the Dragons if it'd be okay if Ruby joined him for the run out today, and a great moment there for Ruby. Cheering for Zach today. He's an aerial specialist. It's a great afternoon to be up there leaping for some high balls in these bright, sunny conditions.
Go to Tottenham. Say it.
The Knights and the Raiders.
Say go to Titans.
Sunday to get that one from the Dr. Jones Stadium later.
They play against the Dragons.
Huh?
They go Titans.
Here on Fox League, the kickoff goes down.
Haven't we done this dance before though?
Work it out here to play.
I say go one team and say go the other team.
Titans from the northern end. Shifted here from Tanner Boyd, comes out on his right hand side, appeal for some high contact. Most of why a bit concerned here about the nature of his contact, and boy, getting up very wobbly there was Philip Sami, and I wouldn't be surprised if Sami is rubber-legged. He will come from the field in a moment here, and we'll see if there's more action to come. The nature of that contact between Moses and Bai, and also Philip Sami. Liu to work it forward here. 10 short of the halfway line. Sam McIntyre looking after a dummy half duties again today, and it won't be his job and his job alone this afternoon because Aaron Clark is out with a knee injury suffered during the week. He had surgery, a meniscus problem at the back of that wing last week as the Seagulls up there at Seabus Super Stadium. The Dragons here from just outside their 30, Walker.
Yeah, he was right, wasn't he, Sami? The good thing was he got straight to his feet. I was wondering the touch, he didn't pick it up, but just watching him in the back play, he's very slow, very ginger to get back into position. Just shaking his head at the moment. I reckon they might check him out.
And there is no surprise here that Philip Sami will be asked to come from the field on the advice of the independent doctor. And we'll have to see if he's able to return. They'll go through the full head injury assessment protocol. But he was a little wobbly, and that might,
when you got Arsenal from.
I'll just rule him out for the remainder of the game, no matter what happens back there in
He
the
stole
sheds.
it. Okay, I'll put one. I'll put one.
Right hand side, Dragons will work it forward. Evan Stewart takes it into Titans territory. Lomax from dummy half comes to DeBellin. Scampering for up about 10 or so.
Come on, man.
And then the dummy half is recovered.
And then I've done like a shit.
Puts it in the air.
What the hell?
There was a collision with a couple of Titans there. One of them was Patrick Herbert, who was playing in the centres today in the shuffled lineup. And Brian Kelly out of the team. And Herbert going into the centres and bring Marshall taking down on that left wing. All the Gold Coast Sharks.
What are you just seeing how did you have to watch my game footy?
Down at by the looks of things.
Huh?
They're happy that it was all okay as far as
What are you going to talk?
we're concerned.
You won't.
Good to see you, mate.
Don't then.
I am good on conversation with this one next.
Oh, you.
So Ben Hunt.
Out.
Only 2.5
Good
minutes.
target out there. I think centre for
You like
Courtney
fishing?
Lomax.
I love fishing. Fishing
He's
fantastic.
getting more confidence in
Yeah,
his
we go
game.
fishing all the time.
Dad,
But
Got a boy.
you know that's only the first half, so you're going to talk for the whole first half. And then I'm going to do the same for the second half.
They'll bring it back out to behind the 30. He's an absolute live wire, and they wrap him up just inside his own 40 as Lomax comes to the middle where Tautau Moga is lurking. And lurking on the sideline for us this afternoon is Nico Parillo.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. It is a picture-perfect day for rugby league here in the Gong. A bit of a breeze, but nothing that should be too disruptive. I'm really excited for this game today, gents. The Dragons showed plenty of heart last week against Canberra. The Titans' 44 points scored last week was near the most in their history. They'll be desperate to avoid the spoon, so plenty to play for here today, once.
There is certainly that, because that's thoughts to you throughout the afternoon here. That restart for the Dragons as they work it here to the edge of the Titans 20. Back line pretty flat on this left-hand side. Goes from DeBellin though through Hunt. A chance for Ramsey. Getting up very quickly though to wrap him up. There's nothing doing there. The tackle of David Fafita. Comes from McCullough. Hunt looking in. Playing out Moan. Numbers in for the Dragons. The ball over the top. Moga stepping back on the inside. Will go close. The shadows there of the Northern Train State beside the
Say that go. Say that go, Titans.
It wasn't too far away. A Moan finds Hunt. Robertson for a wrestle. Taken down there by Tino for Suamala. Freshened up after missing the game last week. A Moan goes for Lomax. Standing in the tackle. Still certain to the line. The ball hits the deck. Down for the moment. And pouring through. A Moan thinks he scored for the Dragons. And so does the referee.
Well, I reckon they're going to, well, they will have a look at that. Whether the ball fell forward after Lomax. Looked like he was putting his arm out to try and score. But the ball was knocked on. But he played on, didn't he, Amon? Just digs into that line too. Loving that right side. Other way he goes right to the line. Here's Lomax now. As the ball goes back, goes on the ground. I think it's a loose carry.
The single here might give us a better look. See that there, that could have easily been called and knocked on. The Titans here, Marju and also Patrick Herbert all said surely that's knocked on, then towed forward by Mo. He was staying alive with the play, no whistle to that point. Confirmation from the bunker with that sideline shot. Well, it might be difficult to overturn what the referee saw on the field, so
I think Lomax flicked it out the back and then it bounced forward as it hit the ground. So, marginal.
go St. George.
Suamala is coming up to ask the
Huh?
referee the question
Go
right
St.
now
George.
as we speak.
No, they need to check it because I think they got.
confirmation from the referee Liam Kennedy.
Go St. George.
No, they do have
Woo,
a
go
some.
Saints.
On screen.
Woo!
Tino wasn't convinced.
Go Titans!
Dragons have
Say it.
points here.
Say it, Fatso.
Gorgeous afternoon. South of Sydney.
I
As we
thought Mr. Beck St. George before the Warriors come in.
final time this season.
Boy,
Lomax.
and they're still in the team.
They're 5 in
Huh?
for a touch.
What that?
Breeze from the northeast. Slightly hurting.
Now, would you- Dad, if you watch-
Looks of things,
Dad, if you watch
rains at left.
any of that, would you still go for St. George?
Off the boot. Stays at 4 points to nil. Promising start for the Dragons here this afternoon. Watch it again. Here's this ball. This off his hip. Side on it was close, but as you said, probably backwards out of the hand and forward off the ground. This angle here once again.
Oh,
Yeah, well, had he said no try, I would have said fair call.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't have blown up about it. But anyway, it's on the board now. Good start from Amon too. The player scored 4 tries himself this season. Loves to take the line on. I like to see a lot of it in this game.
A bit of luck for Zach Lomax and the Dragons. They lead it 4 points to 0 here against the Gold Coast Titans. The Titans just 4 wins from 21 games in 2022. It has been a lean season. Likewise, the Tigers last night who were lapped by the Roosters and then some. Maybe a couple of laps they were behind, and the Titans are popping up the bottom of the table. The Titans only 1 place above them. As the Dragons work it through the middle. Jack Bird with his right-hand side. Hunt looking out of the tackle there for Suamala Ali, his
da.
Queensland origin teammate.
Say that. Say go. Titans.
As the fans on the hill shield their eyes all the afternoon, Sua works it towards the Titans' defensive line, just outside the 40. Well, one more play here. McCulloch goes to Amon, doing the kicking early on, going backwards. Campbell thinking about trying to get a foot into the kicking goal. He managed to do that. The Merseyside 7 tackles from the 20.
Yeah, I like to see how nice and calm he is in the shadow there of the in-goal area. And Jaden Campbell took that quite comfortably. Races up to the 20-metre line. Good start from both sides. Only 4 from 4. 100% completion rate there for the Dragons to start the game.
There is Suamala Ali, who's been a colossus. And will be the side for most of the time this season for the Gold Coast Titans. That's been terrific. Now Wallace on the left edge, Thermal, also much improved in 2022. Contract until the end of 2026 now. Looking away for a number of seasons to come. It's the same story for the man with the ball. Suamala Ali will play it here for McIntyre. A very big dummy half, isn't it? Through the hands of Brimson, it comes to Campbell. Herbert showing it. Slides his way in behind them for a moment there on that right edge before he's cleaned up by Jaden Sua. One more here for the Gold Coast. Marju taking them on. He's something to stop, and we've seen that a number of times. He really can finish off a try. 7 times he's scored in 14 games so far this season. But on the last play, he just said, "Stop me if you can." And the Dragons were good enough to do it.
Gee, you've got to wonder whether he knew it was the last tackle there, Marzu. Just took that from dummy half, as you said. Good powerful runner. Get your kick and try and compete under those high balls. Marzu turned the ball over. The Dragons got it quite comfortably.
If you ever say no one more time,
They're hard to eat when you don't have teeth because they're crackers.
like just short.
What I just say, Joe, I have no fucking teeth in me.
Today,
You go away.
1 try.
Look what you know, you're eating it.
The boy from this part of the world. Here's McCulloch.
Are it too hot for you, Dad?
Sua.
What I say? Why don't we?
He'll play in here with one more for the Dragons.
Why?
McCulloch says who wants it.
Good chicken.
So open again.
I don't know what to do.
Interestingly, in this opening stanza, the ball bounces up.
You can't
very
shoot it, bro, we
nicely
don't have
for
fucking teeth in it.
Jaden Campbell. He'll play it just outside the Titans 20. First of 2 games today. Your way on Fox League. A Sunday ticket, the Knights and the Raiders to follow this one. Taking quite 10 minutes of action here in Wollongong. Back to his feet to play it. That storming try last week against the Seagulls. As far as 60 metres, manhandling defenders. Now Marju, speaking of manhandling, jumps back to inside.
Yeah!
And he's got so much toe, nobody will get near him. He brings it around as well. Nice combination down that left edge between Herbert and Marju, and they're on the board.
Gee, that was a good little bit of footy, wasn't it? Well,
Go Titans.
before the game. They scored 44 points last week, the Titans, and it looked like the shackles were off. And this is all their best players. He's had a great start to the game. Big Tino just skips out of a tackle. Marzu just beats a couple. Then the support comes out. Through for Fafita. And as you mentioned, Warren, as soon as he gets the football, Brimson got wonderful pace. The way that he can take off in the first 10 metres, scores the try.
Big miss there by Tatau Moga on the far side of the field. That was just a clean miss. He had the sideline as well to help him out in that situation. Watch it again as it goes through the hands of Herbert. And Moga comes and just a clean miss goes over the top as Marju ducks under the right arm. And nice work by Fermor to realise that this man, AJ Brimson, who can really fly, gets a chance in open space there and makes it 4 points all, and pretty much right in front. And having had a good afternoon with the boot last Sunday, and a void here inside the uprights should put the Gold Coast in front.
That's a good hit back there from the Titans. They haven't had any sort of field position so far. They've come out. The Dragons scored the first try. Boyd with the kick.
Yeah.
He puts them in front, 6 points to 4 here. 10 minutes gone. First of 2 on the Sunday ticket. Sumala Aoi, Herbert again, and there is Marju away and running. Nico.
Fantastic effort there from AJ Brimson. The Titans last week put on a fantastic team effort, but AJ himself put on what was a terrific solo performance, ripped the Seagulls to shreds with his footwork, broke the line a number of times. We've seen it again here today. Also, guys, an injury update. Philip Sami has failed his HIA and won't be back today.
That is no surprise given the way he was left on the ground. And when he stood up, as I said in the commentary, he was rubber-legged. And it's a shame for Philip Sami. He's taking his move to the centres. Mid-season for Justin Holbrook and the Titans. The restart, Brimson missed timing there with Jared Wallace. Starting Sam again, coming off the bench. And Jamin Jolliffe, who was named starting front row. This gets a carry on play number 2.
Some nice run on the fence there too from the Dragons. I just think Andrew McCullough
Young Steve.
got that left
Hey,
knee heavily bandaged.
So,
Competitor wants to get through the season.
you gone for St. George Royal Dragons, eh? Yeah? Where can you see the leaderboard right now? Can you see the board right now?
Side there as the Bellin came across to
Can you see the board right now? The Dragons are getting destroyed.
runs at Ben Hunt.
2 points. 2 points.
Yeah, the Dragons are going to lose.
Just in time. Now
A
Boyd
nigga.
puts it up. Moga looking into the sun. Can't see it coming through. Herbert came off his shoulder. Then perhaps off the shoulder also Fermor. Eventually it's Lomax who has it for the Dragons. But Moga looking into the sun there had no clue for most of the flight on that ball where it was.
It'll be a tough take too, and a good chase through by the Titans. As I said, Fermor, the ball bounced off his shoulder. Lucky the bounce of the ball there for the Saints. They cleaned up at the back and now they charge up over the 40.
And McCulloch from the field. It's an early change, isn't it? We'll see what that means as far as the alignment at dummy half is concerned. There is Bird for the moment filling in there. Sua taking it forward. Not that by Herbert. And just inside the Titans 40. Jaden Sullivan fresh on the field. Chance this afternoon has been out with a shoulder injury. The kick goes down to Marju, who will bring it back here. A contest there on the kick from the Dragons. They're Illawarra red today, aren't they? Quite the old Steelers jersey, but not too far from it. They take it forward. On the 30 here, the Titans, they put it down. Terrific tackle. Underneath was Maguire. Ben Hunt was there also, and Joe Fafuda had the ball to spill away from him. The force of the shot right around the ribs. It was Ben Hunt, and then coming over the top, Josh Maguire.
You know, it's easy to have a look and see all the good things that he does in attack, Ben Hunt, but in defence, always the first man down on kick chase. And there's a tackle, just getting up under the ball. Could be a little bit of a tide turner now. They're starting to get back into the game, the Titans. And just with that defence there from Hunt, puts it in a good attacking spot. Look for Sua and Lomax on the outside. They look very dangerous this afternoon here.
Here is Lomax taking it towards AJ Brimson. They'll begin already inside the Gold Coast 30. Trying to get across the park on this left-hand side. They went for a couple of carries here. Laurie puts his hand up for the first of them. Sullivan at dummy half. Goes down the short side himself. Turns Lomax underneath. Lomax tumbling. That's up the sewer, then to Bellin. Hunt or real mix-up here. That was ungainly from the Dragons. But are they going to get away with this? Referee Liam Kennedy saying that there was no knock on here by the Dragons. It seems remarkable to touch two of them. They're going to hang on to the ball here. You see it come off the leg there of Bird, then on to Hunt, and no knock on is the call.
Do you need a little bit of luck going your way? It looks like Tanner Boyd is
No,
not
he has the ball.
Yeah.
Indicating initially just a knock on against the goalpost, but then indicating there was also one
What?
by the Dragons, but didn't what we saw. Had to be the way they eventually got.
What is they saying?
I'm 10 minutes on. I'm like to pay attention. Quick.
Coming free after the tackle has been completed, and the Dragons will get a do-over. Big mistake there from Greg Marju on play number 1 off the back of the scrum. Back down to you, Nico, for some news on Andrew McCulloch.
Yeah, unfortunately, guys, he's experienced a medial ligament injury and won't come back today.
One player missing for both teams now. Count gone for the Dragons. And also Philip Sam. Reshuffles going thick and fast, especially on this right-hand side for the Gold Coast Titans, quite obviously.
Hey, Leo.
What did you just call me?
You fucking hear me?
We'll finish the scrum here.
Who racist you FF
One way to
Steve?
go, Lily. I can smash you in the face and get rid of the legal.
FF Steve, go fuck
Punch
Steve.
you in your big moon pie face.
Cock Steve.
On the scrum,
Fuck Cock Steve.
Perfect face to be.
There. I got a new nickname for you.
His career when he scored
Fuck Cock
12
Steve.
points against the Bulldogs
Try and look at this.
earlier this
Huh?
season. The Bellin
What is my nickname? No.
This tackle there. Thurmore was involved. So was Brimson. Now Hunt. First man option is Bird. Strong tackle there. 5 metres out. Sullivan through a mud. Hands of Sewer. Ball bounces up and finds Moga, who is strong in the corner, and he's forced his way in as well. The referee for the moment saying.
Oh! Either way, gone. 10-0.
Thermal will get tracked down by Ramsey with an absolute Ferrari. Nolan Marvel tracking him. Now we're going to go back 75 metres or more to see what happened in the corner of the field.
There was some sort of a chase from Maguire too. Josh Maguire got on his bike as Furmore went upfield. He's run 90 metres. To go back and check it.
Tato Moga maintains possession here around the ball on the try line. It'll be 4 points. You see the ball touching the line there under the control of Moga as he brings
That was play on that. The Titans were going to go down the other field and score. But after the Titans play got tackled, they had to go back to review the try.
We're going to take it for the fans on the hill. Downtown Moga. Dragons back.
Dad, you know the Dragons suck, eh? There.
Obviously not.
Huh?
Obviously not.
Well, they do suck.
To wait for the bouncing ball, but then he was strong up against a series of defenders.
Well, I was just about to say how good the scramble was for the Titans. Some last gap tackles there. And Moga bringing
Oh!
stretches out, puts the football
What?
He didn't even reach the line. It fell short. Look.
Huh?
over the top.
He fell short.
Well, then that shouldn't have been try.
No, he didn't even get to the fucking line.
Have a bit of a run now.
See, if he didn't got...
Injuries have really played in.
No, that actually should be a penalty to the Titans because if he didn't go to the line, he promotes Zamda.
Kevin Easy, it fell short. It fell short.
He has struggled with major knee injuries quite
Nah.
obviously.
Do you reckon that should be a penalty, Titans?
No, that shouldn't have been no try. It should have been just a dropout.
Battle between two.
Huh?
It should have been just a dropout.
Moga and also
No, because it was the Dragons ball anyway.
sets all sorts
Yeah.
of records in the Titans gym with his
No,
bench
no.
presses,
'Cause,
power lifts.
Because if he's short of the line, that should be...
Two strong
If he's short of the line that and promotes that should actually be a penalty to the Titans.
Looks out alone from a certain angle. Lomax will see if we can make just a recalculation here of the wind.
I obviously think there's a little bit of a weakness with the Titans on their left-hand defence. If you have a look at what they're doing when they're getting good ball, the Dragons work on the near post and then hit straight back.
What are your pins there?
The start of this
There.
first half.
Was that yellow flag a penis?
Reward there. Decent nor'easter, as you can see, courtesy of the famous windsock on the hill here in Wollongong. Lomax has adjusted, and beautifully so. Brings this back from outside the right hand upright.
No.
Dragons lead by
These two teams have been the guns.
Through this first
He didn't
half.
even get to the fucking line.
Stadium this afternoon. Watch it again. Marju squarely in front of him.
See?
And they're trying to
Yeah, because it feels like he loses the ball short of the line as well. There.
Well, happy the Dragon. Over there, tucking with the chips. What an afternoon.
Could that? They only look with one angle. They should use every camera.
Conditions here in Wollongong.
If they'll do that, would you say no try?
Perhaps.
It was no try.
Here is Laurie.
Yeah, because he was short of the line, then he moved his hand over.
What a massive crowd.
Because if the arm's on the ground short of the line, and he moves it over, that's a double movement, which gives the other team the penalty.
25 short here on the halfway line. Lomax waiting. Finds the bell, and here's Hutch to the left-hand side. Ramsey. They use that speed there against Paul Turner, who's playing at right centre. And playing the halves for an outside back role as well. The former Warrior. He's taken over a like-for-like switch in the centres. Aaron Woods out there linking up with De Bellin, who was held. Slightly not touching the ground. Now Hunt at the line, runs a long way. Lomax in behind them. Gives it to Moga. He dives for the corner.
You're kidding me. There. Dragons go back to back.
Space of 3 minutes for Tao Moga.
And there's that left side defence. It was just the offload straight onto the field from Aaron Woods. It just got him downfield with DeBell and the quick play the ball. They go straight away to their right-hand side, the left-hand defence of the Titans.
Suck shit. That, it looked like he hurt himself as he dived for the corner.
Can't believe his luck there. He's in again. There's the face ball straight away from Hunt. Moga, no one to beat. Dives over. They go back to back.
That was alarming. The disorganised defensive line on that left edge for the Gold Coast Titans. They were all at sea. Ben Hunt realised that. Had them back pedaling. Marju was back. Herbert was up. And there was a chance for Lomax.
Oh.
Huh?
I don't even reckon that one was a try either.
He got the ball down, I'm going to say just.
What do you reckon they touched the line?
He touched the turf. It was close. The ball gets there before he touches the turf.
I bet you it's going to say confirmed.
And his first double scored since 2017, would you believe? Only the third of his career. Came through the ranks of the Roosters. He was a standout star coming through into the first grade system. He just had awful luck from that point on.
Oh yes, they go.
It is tight.
They go check it.
Confident though that he gets the ball down just before that knee touches the turf.
It's pretty hard to tell. That big gold area is always in the shade here.
That touched the. Oh,
Nah, ball's down.
Skilled there by the corner.
no, they're checking both
Oh, it's
angles.
going to be no try.
Knees down there.
He's out.
Ball already down there.
As you can see on the left-hand screen, the ball's still up, and at the moment, the right knee is up.
The next frame is the key though. Ball still
Very much
up
up on
there.
stage.
Knee was up there, and maybe
As you can see on the left, the ball is down.
between the knee and the ball.
Well, that's a try.
He has touched the
That's no
ground.
try.
Constitute the player is in touch.
Oh, cause
It's very hard to tell, isn't it?
Oh,
Shade
cause
there.
the try can't be awarded because his knees out and the ball touched the line,
Decision like that. Anyway,
No try.
so it will be a turnover.
Nice. After all of that, it was tight, and
Then they thought they went back to back.
in the same frame, his knee touches the turf at the same time as the ball goes down. Anthony Griffin wistfully watching on, hoping for
Hey, no.
a different result there. Doesn't get one. And they're so close again, and just the
Hey,
end
no.
there of Jason Campbell coming across.
And the Dragons season's over from last week because last week that Canberra Raiders beat the Dragons 24 points to 22.
His knee hit the turf at the same time. So it stays at 10 points to 6. Rush of attacking.
Dad, you should be going for Dragons now.
5 minutes. Titans surviving, but only just. McIntyre had a dummy.
That's surely offside. That should be penalty there. That was offside.
Short side. McIntyre takes a tackle now. Goes through Wallace.
Oh, he's off.
Offload for Sumala'awi. Look at Tino go. They cut him down, but only just. What a run by Fasua Mala'awi. The run was almost longer than his surname. Brimson comes to the
Oh, 6 more.
Restart here. Ben Hunt.
Great tackle.
Damn, I did not know you had to be inside 10 minutes there.
On Fafita.
Tackles up their sleeve though. Here is Wallace charging.
Can you turn that off, you gay shit there?
At the moment, the Dragons
Turn it off. No, no.
McIntyre goes to Boyd. And then a coup by Brimson in behind them. Lomax reaching out. They reeled that one in and keep the ball in play for the Dragons. And they'll work it away from deep inside their own territory. Trying to protect this 4-point lead.
We deserved to try there. Fasua Mala'awi. What about that? It was a 60-metre break. Just got ankle tap. Would have been the individual try of the year. Big front row scoring like that. Look at the pace he showed when he got in the open space.
Back down to Nico Parillo. Some more injury news, Nico.
I do, gentlemen. Moses Mbaya has come off with a hamstring injury. The Dragons say 50-50 on whether or not he'll return. Dragons bench now down to 2.
That would sound unlikely for his hamstrings strain of Benny. Back out there. We'll see if Jack Bird fills in at left centre and stays there for the remainder of the game. Up at the end of the count already ended. He told us to go. They're down to 15 for the remainder of this game. We've got a long way to go here this afternoon. Here's Turner in the middle of the field doing some dancing. Knocked down there. Play on is the call. It could easily be set restart. The referee wanting the play to continue on. Boyd. Sumala'awi running a decoy. Brimson into Fafita. Back to Brimson here. He just glides across the front of everybody in the middle of the field. Furmore charging hard at Lomax. And also Jaden Sewer, they're 10 metres out. And one more here. Boyd. Kick across the field. A chance. Turner is there. Bird, though, from the in-goal area. Makes a great catch. He'll bring it back for a quick restart as well. He's got Ramsey with him. Tanner Boyd did very well to get back there and cut down Ramsey. Otherwise, it's good night.
You know, love playing that up-tempo game. Don't know the Dragons, especially at home. There's Moses and Boy now. Up the sideline there. What a great restart. Look at that. Third tackle. They're up over the halfway line. All down the Bird.
Sullivan from dummy half. Finds to Bellin. Hunt, good hands to Bird. Even better to Ramsey. He runs to Campbell. Passes back on the inside. Thiele scores. There's no denying this one. Lovely down the left-hand side. Ramsey hit the ball at speed. All he had to do was draw and pass.
Well, that's a great minute of play there for Jack Bird. He's the man that caught the ball in the in-goal there. He rushes up to take the tap. And away they go, the Dragons. He's involved again with an offload. There's a restart. A quick tackle. They go up the short side. Fine is the man that gets the try. But look at that short ball there from Hunt again. Beautiful pass there from Bird. Back on the inside. Fine finishes it off. They've got the length of the field, the Dragons. It's been exciting. Good attacking football here this afternoon. And they're in again.
Both edges, they've used the ball very nicely. Great combination there. The pass from Bird. He's been playing in the middle of the field. He runs back to an old role, playing in the edge in the centres. Puts it on the chest of Cody Ramsey. And he sized up Jaden Campbell. A couple of young speedsters there. You realise that Campbell probably had him covered. An easy way to the line was the pass back on the inside. All that Fiona. Jack Bird. A bit floppy there, walking back to the halfway line. Might pick up a bit of a knock on the knee as they wait for the conversion for Zach Lomax to try and make this a handy buffer. Looking for a 10-point lead, 15 short of half-time. Following this game, we'll be taking you north to Newcastle Either side of Sydney this afternoon on the Sunday ticket. The Donald Jones Stadium, the venue for the Knights, up against the Raiders. Massive game for Canberra. Have to keep winning. And if they do, I dare say they'll qualify for the finals. Results going the way they have done in the bottom half of the top 8. Lomax, into the breeze this time, almost on.
That's a terrible kick. Oh, it went in.
The touch judges say it was all good though. I just said maybe it missed to the left-hand side from our angle. We were almost directly behind that blocker, but the touchies thought otherwise.
I think I'm taking my glasses off.
Did he miss the goal?
Here is Ramsey again. They cutting back to the inside. Good work by the winger, grabbing his 8th try. And game number 18 in his 2022 season, Nico.
Warren just confirming Moses Mbai has ice on that hamstring and has been officially ruled out of this match.
Well, they are down to 15, so that is a real blow for the Dragons. At the moment, though, they have a handy buffer of 10 points. And they're working forward
No.
through
In round 10, Dad. Dad. In round 10, that was the highest Dragons got. And same with the Titans. They were level 16-0. I mean, yeah, 16-0. Then they went to Golden Point at Suncorp Stadium. With the Titans went for a field goal 4 times. But the 5th time they went for a try.
Across the halfway line as the camera shows fire off. And the stars for the Dragons. So playing here for Sullivan. Now the Bill pushing up in support there was Woods. They put it back to the 30. Big meters here, and they're set beyond points as Sullivan finds Hunt to put up a rare kick for the halfback this afternoon. They put the pressure on Marju, who goes up above everybody and brings it down for the Gold Coast, and they'll begin here at their own 10.
Yeah, he did well to hold his nerve there because it was a great chase by Lomax. And just stood his ground there, Marju. A great take. There he is, taking the ball up here. He's a power pack, isn't he? You've got to make sure that you hit him with everything. Quick play the ball now for the Titans.
Tackle there on Campbell. Coming up quickly, Josh Maguire. Into the UK 2023 link up with
Who's it? Go on then.
Rugby League journey. Campbell here for Port. He's outside of halfway. It's a nice in the sun. Direction of the sun. Low to pass. In distance towards Moga in this first half. Shadows across the stadium. Here is two-try hero. As we said, 17. Directly so is Hunt. Again, here we go. Ramsey and Bird, really a combination. Takes away Bird from Paul Turner, keeps it alive. He's always had such a good fin, Jack Bird. Bounce. The collision and now going sideways from sideline to sideline. A moment we wrapped up there. 7 plays remaining in this set for Sewer.
Shut the gate, Joe!
Moves through the line, tackled around the legs by Isaac Liu. Now Sullivan finds Hunt. Lomax pouring through. With a nose for a high ball. There he is. Comes down with it, fires it out the back.
Actually, reckon she's good at
Dragons.
For a podcast, she's good at stuff.
Who forces a mistake, and the Titans have
It was well done there by Turner to make that tackle one-on-one with Bird. And they've knocked on.
It's not as if you have a lot of days to fucking learn that page. Obviously you don't.
He's such an aerial specialist, isn't he? Zach Lomax. Advantage there over Sheldon Campbell.
So he's lucky you're not going to fucking the college in the city, because
Say, but the Titans
once you lose interest, you still have to go.
look at this because they
I'm
think they've
still
got a
interested in
case.
sewing.
This was your only opportunity to actually learn by someone who knows what they're doing.
Peter plays it ball in a one-on-one strip, which is permissible, just seeing the direction it goes.
Someone better might be able to teach you, I don't know, Stephen.
I think
Step forwards towards your opponent. Step forward.
And you too.
The challenge is unsuccessful.
Excuse me, though.
And they're all dice there, trailing by 10. Here.
Dad, do you know what captain challenges? Do you know what captain challenges?
Dragons will have 6 more plays here for a close range. Chance to put a big gap between them and the Tigers.
As you mentioned a little bit earlier, they've had luck on both sides of the field, but predominantly their right side, the Dragons, they'll take the scrum right in the middle of the park. See what they'll come up with straight away from the scrum base. There'll be something on here.
Get your stinky toes off my
Not a breather.
No.
Most unofficial.
Somebody get my sticky toes off my dog.
Not quite half an hour gone here and
Aye.
gone.
Already scored it.
And at the feed, Sullivan. Trick play finds Ramsey.
I know they come by us.
Time.
Yeah.
Who was defending a couple wide from the scrum. That was interesting. They got away with it though, the Gold Coast. The Bellin underneath. Molo, charging hard. Play it here, about 5 out from the Titans line. Here's the Bellin. Goes to the hands and back on the angle. Sewer. Good stop there on their own line. Terrific defence by the Gold Coast. But they can't stop this one. Sullivan. He jumps out, cleans it down. He's an absolute live wire, and it is a big lead now for St George Illawarra.
Yeah, you've got to say that it was a real good play the ball there from Jaden Seward. Just cut back on the inside, quick play the ball. Just backs himself, legs tackles that close to the line. Right up there, trying to tackle him bodily around the ball. You go around the legs, that's what happens. You just dive straight over the top. Look at that, 2 blokes going for the same legs tackle, that close to the line. No way you're going to stop him there. A little bit of speed out of dummy half there from Sullivan. Like the Dragons wanted to score after they got the call. They get the 6 again. Sullivan scores.
Anthony Griffin took over Dragons, and he's been on the scene for a number of seasons now. We know what he's going to do in attack, but he said he just wasn't ready to be playing in the NRL from a physicality and defensive point of view. And now here he is, more than 18 months later. He's doing a nice job in there at dummy half and attack so far this afternoon. His surface has been crisp. He's got to hold his own in the middle defensively, quite obviously playing in the hooking role. But Griffin confident that he can do that now. Lomax on the side of the uprights.
Dragons are terrible.
And makes it a big lead for the Dragons. At home, Wollongong for the last time this season, they will make it 22 points to 6, Nico.
Yeah, guys, speaking of red hot Dragons, the massive prequel to Game of Thrones is coming to Foxtel tomorrow. You can catch every episode of House of the Dragon via Fox Showcase and in 4K Ultra HD right here on Foxtel.
Ah, that little young fan, he can't wait. He's had it on record on the IQ remote for weeks now, waiting for House of the Dragon to commence. I'm sure he'll be lapping it up. What a big week it's going to be. Big afternoon for the Dragons right here. Leading by 22 points to 6. We've still got 9 minutes before half time, so anything is possible here. It's the weekend of the big scorelines blocker.
You'd have to have a look at it, the record-wise, whether we've seen more points in a weekend of football ever. Gee, we'd go close, wouldn't it?
It's only the 4th time we've had 5 teams score 40 points or more in the one round in the history of the game in this country at this level. The Bella coming back to the middle. I'll make it another time team now. The Dragons keep on going. Got 40 here this afternoon. Given what we've seen so far, that will make it 6 in the one round. And Sullivan, only 40 metres out once again. Hunt's here looking in. Plays to a Mondo, Lomax. Great success there today. That one was an absolute Hail Mary. He fired that forward. That will be the change over there, but there are meters on the back end of sets. Marju and Herbert playing back, looking for a kick, and they've gone through the hands a number of times, and there's huge meters there for the Dragons.
Everybody's going to be a fine for him too, and know the way he digs into the line, the catch and pass then, over there on that right-hand side. Going to be a good player for a long, long time. He's getting better and better every week.
Here's Cam.
That's having a break.
To the one, picks it up towards the halfway line, and some pressure on the back of the neck of the fullback as well. So a penalty here, rare chance for they had some chances early on, scored one of course, and Grimson on a long-range effort went down the left-hand side. From that point on, had no ball at all at this end of the field. So what they can offer here, they need something quickly. Trailing by 16 for Sumala Aui. And that fabulous run some time ago that was incredible speed he showed. McIntyre. For Boyd, here's Campbell.
Oh!
Some speed weaves in behind them. Turner gets an offload. Wrapped up though by
Damn.
Aaron Woods.
He was almost gone for long money.
50 just closes the door on him. This is Josh McGuire, in fact. Now for
Yeah. This is what you call it, Dad. I try.
just strength.
I try. 22 to 12.
You're still 12 points behind.
Huh?
You're still 12 points behind, 10 points behind.
He just does it again too for Phoenix.
Sorry?
He scores tries, back rowers
You still
in the
need 2 tries,
competition.
mate.
He's probably the only one that can score them.
Even if you convert assists, you still need 2
Run there
tries.
by Jaden Campbell. The quick play the ball here.
Sorry?
Oh yeah!
Outstanding start. Pushes away there from, I think it was Woods. They can't make the tackle.
Oh yeah!
Feeder slams the ball down.
Dad, do you reckon do
He is
What?
you reckon it could go on point?
close to the line, almost
What?
impossible to
Puzzle points,
stop.
but it's the draw. It's
Just
not
wish
going to
he'd
be
do
a
it a
draw.
little
Huh?
bit more.
It's not going to be a draw.
Dad, golden point isn't where it's gonna be a draw. Dad.
About this one as well.
Dad.
They just had to produce something.
Dad. Hey, Dad.
Put your name down.
Dad, golden point isn't a draw. Dad. It goes to extra time. And they have to kick the field goal or try to win.
The moment he set foot in the NRL, it's like, my goodness, what about this thrashing machine called David?
See you later, Dad.
Unbelievably
See you later.
What?
See you later.
What did you
He's
face?
playing against blokes who do weights nearly every day, and he just makes them look second rate with the power and his speed.
Well then don't, leave him alone.
Puts them back in the game, the Titans. They needed something, and they've got it from Fafita.
No problem from close range. 4 10
Dad only has 1 day off. We need to leave him alone. You only have 1 day off. We need to leave you alone. Oh, no, that's Cannon.
Peter just went straight through the tackle. Sullivan was dispensed like he was a mosquito.
Dad,
Over the top. No
my school burned down again.
stop for Peter from that sort of range. He's an action figure, isn't he? In rugby league kicking.
Do you like this?
Couldn't believe it on the way in. I saw him. He walked past me. Couldn't believe the size. Exatino were working together. He's nearly hitting the shot.
Yeah, just a little bit of vegetables, please.
With good reason.
With potato, please.
Herman SAS it is. They're now off the bench for Johnston Hall.
Oh, is it gravy to go with it tonight?
Going here.
Is it gravy tonight? Okay. But it's more tastier with vegetables and gravy with like, yeah. Okay, thank you, Nana.
That's if you own the 20. Gets them out of trouble as they take it forward here. Play it there through Followaker. Now, Silmala Awi once more. Runners to Maguire. Play it back inside of the halfway line. SA. Showing it's all the forwards. Power set of 6 for the Gold Coast. Comes back here through Brimson to Boyd. Swiveling kick would have work to do there for Cody Ramsey. Makes a good catch. Only took away from the Summers. That one came back to earth, and he'll play it here just inside the Dragons 20, and they get some help to work in over the top. In the tackle by the Gold Coast.
You've got to have a look at it sometimes with those kicks downfield, whether the tackles are dominant. That's been the Titans' bugbear in the first half. They just haven't won any tackles. And that time they try and put a little bit of a squeeze on and they get a penalty against them. So, good defensively now.
It's more to work forward for the Dragons. Michael, that is. So, he's out there. Number 20, there he was running a deep ball through the hands of Ramsey. Bird on the angle. Thought he was in trouble and panicked and knocked it off in the process. He thought he might have been headed for the sideline. They had him frog march towards the stripe. Now I think he's going to challenge this, but it looked like a knock on and they're pretty adjacent to it.
I suppose you've got to look at it whether it was a loose carry. He was heading towards that sideline. Just flicked the ball back in field, so I think it's a loose carry. I don't know whether they'll win this one. As the ball goes down now.
See if any technical to strip the ball.
The Antonio Bird was trying to offload this, perhaps thinking it's a loose carry there. Yeah. And we're going towards the Gold Coast line, so it should be Gold Coast ball, and we're
Just making a tackle on the ball. There's no intent to strip. It's a loose carry from Jack Bird.
and that'll make us done for the day for the captain's challenges.
A long way to go in the game too. 3.5 minutes to go before half time. Just asking the question to the referee. You've got to get on with it now.
Looking for a get-out clause there was Jack Bird. Under pressure, thinking about a little flick pass. Ball comes through, he knocks it on, and to compound the error, says we'll challenge that. We're always 1,000 to 1 to win that one. Here's a chance for Brimson. Showing speed once again. Has to go to the ground, and mix up there between he and Herbert. He's moving for him as well. McIntyre here, waiting at dummy half. He's down to SASA. Inside the Dragons 40. Chance here inside 3 minutes remaining before half time. Boyd, Campbell, good ball. Down the sideline for Peter, who really can move. He's got some strength as well. Coming across Ben Hunt. Made sure he didn't get back to his feet and score in the corner. Here's Fafita once again. Look out, Dragons. He winds up, tries to hold off Bird, who realises you've got to get to him early. If he does wind up, it's all over pretty much. He plays it all and will be called to have knocked the ball on. This looks like a tough call given the Dragons were all over him in the play the ball.
No, 100% right there. I think he's got one up on him. Maguire just leaning over him in the play the ball. No more challenges. Just pushing him. You can't do that. That's a tough call.
Well, we might see a bit more of that, and the experienced Josh Maguire realising that not only are the Dragons out of challenges, so are the Gold Coast Titans, and a bit of gamesmanship perhaps there. Gets the ball to go his way, and the Dragons come up with possession, but that was a fairly obvious crowding of the man playing the ball, wasn't it?
And he's pushing forward on him too while he's trying to play the ball, so that's a tough one against the Titans.
Dragons here, just outside their 30. First half of this one, near half-time. Gorgeous afternoon here in Wollongong. Dragons lead it by 10. They're on the attack now. Sullivan finds Woods, who finds Hunt. They will slip on the edges. Ramsey again, stopped there by Boyd. Did well defensively. Gold Coast halfback. On here for Hunt, who will put it up in the air. Campbell looking at Marju, who comes across and makes the catch. And then bounces away from a couple of defenders. And they'll work it away here. Time for a full set of 6. We'll see how adventurous they want to be from their own end. Oh, got a leg up. Penalty here. The marker's not square. That's a real bonus for the Gold Coast. If Boyd can find the line quickly, he picks off plenty of metres in doing so. He took about 20-25 of them. Good kick from the middle of the field. Here they come. No chance. Bring this back to a A one-score game at the break. Play it there through, Fodawaker. Boy now at the back, Crimson for Theta, runs towards Hunt, bumped off him, but Maguire is also there. Another penalty. Some work over the top from Jack Bird, and there's time off. Fingers going in the air for the Titans saying, let's take the 2.
That's what they're going to do by the look of it too. Over to the sideline with the Brains Trust. They're saying take the 2.
Tino still looking at the bench. The bench is saying yes. We will have the 2 points. The attempt at least, but grabbing 2 more here just before the break. Going again. Grimson falls the feet up. Bit bumped on Hunt. In a position and coming across the top there. Maguire. He's taking a few liberties now, isn't he? It looks like maybe the contact from Maguire might have been the reason for the whistle. Keep a cool head, Josh. A few games remaining as a Dragon for, as we said, Warrington in 2023. Went away with one a moment ago, but not this one.
He's trying to talk Fafita out of it. I don't know whether that is the right tactic to awaken him. Get away with that one.
Yes. Don't want to take the sleeping bear. Boyd. Try and bring this back to an 8-point game. They've already sounded. Good kick. The Breeze will do the rest and hold it up for him. And they add 2 after the siren here in the first half. We've had 40 in Wollongong. It's the Dragons 22, the Gold Coast 14.
Yeah, the Dragons in total control for the majority of that first half, but a late surge from Fafita and the Titans, making it interesting and bringing the Titans back into the contest. The game afterwards, the Knights are taking on the Raiders, and the Raiders coach is standing by with Joe Duke.
Ricky Stewart, the week off last week, what pleased you most about the way your side and the whole club handled your absence?
There's no hiccups. I said during the week we've got good systems in place and experienced coaches, and the value of good, strong leaders. So the 2 points was good. It was would have been a nice if we had to win on with the win a little bit more, get to 24-12, but 2 points is 2 points is crucial at this stage of the season.
You talk about going on with the win, so how do you improve today to keep winning?
Well, we've got to get into a position first. It's going to be a pretty big start to the game, I feel. They've had a bit of adversity through the week. The Knights, they're a very proud club. I'm expecting them to come out with a bit of a sting in their tail. So we have to make sure that we're very disciplined and defensively strong early.
Young Xavier Savage, 2 try assists last week, re-signed with the club during the week. How integral is he becoming to this Canberra Raiders side?
Well, put a lot of work into Xavier over the last 12-18 months. He's a very talented young player. He's still developing, and we're just working hard on his progression. But the good thing about it, he's a really committed young man, and he works hard too. He's young in the mind still, and it's a matter of teaching him how to train like an NRL player, how to act like an NRL player, and he's doing a really good job. I'm excited that he wanted to stay on the Via Raider. I'm really excited that we've got him for another 3 years, and he plays in probably one of the harder positions on the field, and so far in his early development, he's doing a really good job.
Talking about exciting, how exciting to have Joe Tarpanay back, and how's his...
Yeah, he's good. He's healthy. He's been in wonderful form. It's probably the form of his career, and the good thing about that with young players, and Joe's still young, he's mid-20s. The good thing about that is they know what to do to actually have to get to that quality of football. What you do during the week, what you do, and how you live and how you eat, and how you live your life.
Cola and alcoholic ginger beer packs. Pick one up, scan it, and if you find him, you'll win 10 grand. Let hard work define you. Reward yourself when the job is done.
Choose VB Connect, available in range made with beer.
Why? I've earned it.
Code Sports, your ultimate source for winter sport. Gain access to top-tier riders from across the globe. Code doesn't just give you the results. Code takes you deeper into sport. Visit codesports.com.au or follow us on socials.
Well, back in, take us through that Harvey Norman up one more. Yeah, they got out of the blocks early as we thought they would. The Dragons.
Bella.
Controversial. It was Lomax with the flick around the back. It looked like it could have. The Titans hit back, and it's AJ Brimson. It was always going to be AJ Brimson. You thought that would be the difference this afternoon if the Titans were able to win this one. He streaked away and picked up their first try of the afternoon. Good before Tautau Moga on that far side of the field. He's looked dangerous in the opening half.
Yeah, all-out attack this afternoon. 36 points scored in the first half, and Tautau Moga scored this one. Went close a couple of minutes later. And both teams are just all-out attack. And Titans, it's like the individuals of Tino Fa'asuamaleaui and David Fifita. Then on the other side, it's basically nice connection between the halves, and Jack Bird did a really nice play there to set up Fina. But then Jaden Sullivan, who came on for Andrew McCulloch, scores the next, and then David Fifita was like playing against under-sevens with his try.
Yeah, it was, and you said it, Braith, just before the break, they were in complete control, weren't they, the Dragons? Now, whilst they've been moving the ball, but the Titans, the Dragons were in control, and David Fifita, just pure individual brilliance. We know what he's capable of, just way too powerful and strong there. And I really like what I've seen from James Campbell too, in the back end of that first half. He really started to threaten, particularly that left-hand side of the Dragons. They're looking dangerous, the Titans.
In the sheds, Holbrook would have to be pretty happy with the way that his side finished. I believe on top at the back end of that first half. What do we think is going to happen in the second half?
Well, I think the Dragons have the better field position, so they've scored obviously more points. But the Dragons, the Titans have held their gloves up. So I think if they can get in sync with their halves a little bit better,
they've got a few fish buckets and slap up Sunday meal. Dragons, they're on track for the Sunday meal. They lead here 22 points to 14. They'll be gone just before half time. Narrowing the gap for the Gold Coast Titans. Cody Ramsey has been impressive. Looking into the left-hand side attack in particular in that first 40. We'll see if he can continue on. With everybody up there, the Molong Puff cheering on this afternoon. Great to have your company, and of course right around the nation as we watch the Dragons working away here from their own 20. This is the Sunday ticket on Fox League. First of two games, the Knights against the Raiders to follow at Donald Jones Stadium. That's a massive game for Canberra. Quite obviously, they need to win all three of their remaining games. And you'll see it here live on Fox League. Justin Holbrook's been alongside one-time Tiger and also Gold Coast Titan. Anthony LaFranchi there, the headphones on. Sullivan through the middle here. Some nice inroads for the Dragons in this opening set. There's Hunt. Good options, finding Milo back on the inside. Sullivan puts the foot down, runs towards the defence there, stopped just by Jojo Fifita. 5 metres out. They go to the left-hand side. Hunt, straight ball, terrific pass. Jack Bird dives in, just like that. The Dragons put their foot on the throat and score first here in this second half.
Yeah, what a great start there from the Dragons. A couple of inside balls there. Just closing off the ball. Sullivan goes straight through. Beautiful one-arm offload. Hit the ball at speed. It's on the outside of his man there. And Fifita, Bird, beautiful take. Hits the ball at pace. I mentioned a little bit earlier in the first half how hard he is to stop. Not the biggest of men, but he's very strong base. Just hits that ball at speed. What a start for the Dragons to start this second half. With the breeze too, I might add. They scored after a couple of minutes.
Big effort by Jack Bird. Start the game with a lock forward roll in the middle of the field. Then the injury to Mason By, who missed the first half, is out with a hamstring strain suffered during that first 40. So Bird shifts to the left centre position and duck to water, turning back the clock. Timed in beautifully a number of times. Set up a try in the first half from Matt Fionney. And now finishes one off himself. And the Titans close the gap just before half time with a try and a penalty goal as well. Dragons respond. strikes it, drags it to the left-hand side, stays at 26-14. Downstairs to you, Nico.
Thank you, Warren. What a play there from Jack Bird. A great effort. Set up one of Talatau Amon's tries last week, and here he is with one of his own. He's been Mr. Versatility, as you mentioned earlier, for the past few seasons. Jack Bird began his NRL career in the centres, can play in the halves, played the majority of this season, in fact, in the back row, and filled in the middle last week. Geez, a handy player to have in your squad, Jack Bird.
That he is. Working centre. Move to the forward pack. The back row or your third season and the big now for the Dragons. Still playing a nice role in the centres card. An example of it right there. Moga. The try scorers in the first half when he had a double, but only by the bunker. From knee to touch as he planted the ball down. Here's Aaron Woods in game number 250. Inside the 40, was driving it low, thinking 40-20. It comes off the tight and not played at. Tackle count will continue on here as Lomax made the catch. Park is thinking 40-20, and they're off and running again. Sewer off Molo, back to Francis Molo. Even with Lomax, touched by a tight, and the pass has been called forward.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, to start the second half, their middle is abysmal at the moment. The Titans just cruising straight through the middle. Look how they just don't close the gate there. Sue with the offload.
Great angle to Tom. The referee was right in line with it. Pass to Lomax, was falling out of the hands. Combinations. Marlowe brothers. Sullivan's been a long run before the previous try for Bird as well. The Titans can't tighten things up, as you say, Rocky, through that middle. Scoring 40 points or more this weekend.
You've got to be tough mentally too. I mean, only a couple of games left in the season. You know you can't make the semis. It all comes about how competitive you are in your own performance. It's just soft to start the second half here from the Titans.
Say back at the halfway line, playing it for McIntyre. Woods got tangled up in the play the ball there. Brings and goes right through the hole where Woods would have been. Campbell steps away from Lomax. He sets sail to the line and gets there as well. If he got the ball down at the first attempt, this will be a try. If he didn't, though, he's been held up. No try. And the call initially from Liam Kennedy, the referee, is no try.
Well, how did they get back in time? Prince just exploded onto the ball straight through. Timed the pass perfectly. Is that Hunt there making that tackle? He hasn't got the ball there. What about that? That's a tackle of the year. One-on-one on Campbell at speed. Looks like Hunt stays the try there for the Saints.
And the tackle is complete. We have a decision.
Well, that's an enormous effort.
Just to get himself back there after Brimson went straight through, puts Campbell into open space. He's got speed.
Play on here, Boyd kicking for the corner. There's Bird again. What a hand he's playing this afternoon. Filling in for Moses and Bly at centre. Makes a good catch. The Dragons remarkably. Well, a moment ago, what they were going to concede 4 if not 6 points. Instead, they survived, working away from their own 20. That's a great try-saving tackles of the year from Ben Hunt. One of the favourites for the Dally M medal. See how that shakes down. The contenders for the Dally M in 2022. Taking the tackle here, Molo again.
That's just design that tackle there from Hunt.
Here he is with the clearing kick. Puts it in the air to come down to Campbell, who makes the catch. So he leaves the 20 and tries to straighten up, and they pick him up. He's a lightweight, and surely he's held some stage there. Finally, the call of hell comes as he was lifted it into the air, and now Fafita, Jojo, that is, and Francis Molo coming out to put a tackle on him. And the Titans a shift inside their own territory. Herbert losing the ball, the tackle ripped out by the Dragons, so it's 6 more here. And a chance to go deep on the attack again in this next set. Marge wrestling around, trying to find his way away from Lomax, and also Nova put some big bodies in that little confrontation.
Showing great strength too, just to brush him off, stand in the tackle. It's a nice run there through the middle.
Here's Fasilma Ali, finds Boyd for Fafita, running at Ben Hunt again. And that's who's in for a Queensland origin teammate. Faces Fafita, he's picked that a number of times, but Hunt has been good. Featherweight playing it here, 10 metres out, McIntyre, Campbell, slipping over once again. One more play, goes back to Boyd. Across the face, Furmore is there, tries to tap it backwards, only succeeds though in tipping it straight to Zach Lomax, and the Dragons hung on once again inside their 20.
Let's see if they can be good defensively here now. They need a little bit of spark, the Titans, with their defence. Archie in the back play there.
Play continues on the far side of the field underneath the hill. Fido goes into touch. That's a mini disaster for the Dragons back behind the play on the grandstand side. There was a little bit of a flare-up between a couple of Dragons and some Titans. The Titans will get a chance here. Watch it again, bit of a shove there from Patrick Herbert. Cody Ramsey said, hey, one from Molon. I'm having none of that. That Lomax came in as well to help out. A little bit of an underdog in that contest, Cody Ramsey.
He might have been outnumbered there too. This is quite neat.
For the Cavalry K. Sticking up for himself here this afternoon. Running down at Wollongong, his Boyd showing a little dummy. Played by Sullivan, who did well. He's on the ground when they play the ball. McIntyre, as a result, jumps out from dummy half. The Titans have it within 10. From Bremson, goes through the hands of S.A. Boyd is stopped there by Ben Hunt, then up off his line and shutting down his opposite number 7. Back to Bremson. So never a bad option. Comes at the back for Boyd. Fafita, quick hands through Turner. Comes away to Fafita. Jojo, that is. Jojo's gone close, but not close enough. Campbell with the cross kick. Thermal's there again. Everybody missed it. Lomax flew but didn't contest it. Still the last. Coming from S.A. Lomax is there. Fafita beats him to the ball. Stays alive. Dumps out the back. Campbell gets a second touch in the one play. Crimson shoots it. Sits up here from Marju. He's strong. And he fires it back on the outside. And Thermal will score. One of the more remarkable tries you'll see this season. It went from sideline to sideline. Jaden Campbell got 2 touches, one a kick, one a pass, and then the strength of Marju. It looked like he was held, not held, passed it, and they score.
And there's 3 in the tackle there. Marju just bounces up and just offloads the ball. What about the strength of Fafita again? Just beats Lomax to pass over the top. They need a little luck. Grissom with the kick in over the top. Marju here, look, there's 3 around him somehow. Gets the ball away. Furmore just right on the spot. One bounce, up into his arms. The Titans again hit back.
Incredible try. Broke down a number of times in the middle of the field. David Fafita want to scramble to the ball against Zach Lomax. Lomax picks it up and runs the length of the field to score himself. Fafita got there first. Because this man, Furmore, as we said, is re-signed with the Gold Coast Titans, who remain with a strip until the end of 2026. We're going to have a look at, well, any number of things in this play. Some of the boys being told to wait for the moment by the referee. Now they get the all clear, and the bunker says it's all good. For the moment, here we go, but instead, confirmed for the Gold Coast.
back with their tries, haven't they? Get right back into the game. 6-20.
Boyd does exactly that. From close range. Close the gap here. Watch this again. Sideline to sideline. It might take us half an hour to show you the entire play. There is Marju, gives it off to Fermor. He bangs it down with some of the uprights, and what do you know? Suddenly it's 26 points to 20.
Especially when they come out in the second half. The Dragons had scored that try in the first couple of sets. You would have thought, hello, we're not going to be able to hang out. They'll put the cue in the rack now, the Titans defensively. They hit back, only 6 behind.
And half an hour remaining before we take you north to Newcastle, where the Knights will host the Raiders. Raiders, the young team outside the top 8, who can push their way in. The Broncos, battling suddenly. The Rabbitohs confirmed their spot. Roosters massive win last night, but they are still at risk also, despite that 72-6 win against the Tigers. So it's a big game for the Canberra Raiders, and the Knights find something. It's been a wretched season. No spoilers. Brimson here for the Titans. Fermor just about away again, back to the inside for Brimson. What about the hands in the Gold Coast suddenly? Joel playing from McIntyre, goes through Liu. Boyd is there. Here's for Peter. Winds up, sees Hunt once again. Puts his body in front of him. And we'll get 3 defenders. Wrap up David for Peter.
And Dragons lead by 6.
Cross kick. Here's Herbert, line high. Great catch made by Tautow Moga.
Gee, that was some sort of take too. They must have been caught short too. The crossfield kick. Because Fafita had 3 players around him trying to make the tackle. He stood in that tackle, and they kick crossfield. Moga with a great take.
Dragons under pressure here, working away around inside.
C-A-R.
He's only finding something. This works. Getting there, they've used up 4 players already. So inside their own 20. So Sullivan uses his speed. Jumps out of the There'll be pressure here on the kick potential. Hunt at first receiver. Boyd pushing in from Hunt. Can't get there in time. Hunt takes his piece off it. Campbell will bring it back. Chase line from the Dragons. They're a bit all over the place there. And Campbell just about steps his way through it.
Well, they're starting to look a little bit tight, the Dragons. That kick chase was pretty ordinary. Too, it's the Titans starting to put a few passes together. The Dragons are looking a little bit out on their feet at the moment.
There is Herbert gets to the inside, finds it Fermor playing on the wing for the moment. That was impressive. And he's beaten everybody. He comes towards Ramsey, got a piece of him eventually. Brimson on the offload is stopped just outside the Dragons' 10. Penalty here and potentially a sin bin.
I reckon that is a big.
Boy, luckily the Dragons have defenders back on their line there. Ramsey took an age getting off the tackle player, so it's 3 set of 6 here, trailing by 6. And McIntyre waiting at dummy half. Boyd goes to Fermor. What a disaster that is for the Gold Coast. Moga stepping away and they come up with the ball. 4 set of 6 inside the 20 and put it in early in the tackle.
Gee, it was a shocking pass to Fermor there. He's trying to hit the gap, running at speed. Just hit him on the top of the shoulder. Poor execution there from the Titans. They had a little bit of a sniff there. Defend now.
Definitely hoping there's a couple of settling sets of 6 here as Aaron Woods leaves the field, gets a breather for the moment. Miss on Dave Fafita in the first half, and the team scored try, not long out from the break. Bit of a leg up. And the Dragons here. Through Jack the Bell. Knock it down. Just inside the Titans 40. Here's Hutt. The kick. Down towards Marju. Lomax is there, wins the contest again, but they will wrap him up in the process. making the catch, but he's got the better of that contest all afternoon, hasn't he, Zach Lomax? One of the great targets in the NRL.
It's uncanny how he just times it so well, week in and week out, Lomax. Always gets a couple of grabs per game.
Now Ferber having himself quite a second half. He'll tackle the ball, he's put it down here though. Just didn't quite have it securely wedged from that right arm as he hit the turf and it came free ever so slightly.
Just on the way down, just the elbow hitting the ground, he's carrying the ball. Sullivan it is that comes across with the tackle, we'll be happy about that. And here's a chance. Maguire being taken from the field, doesn't look real happy. It's a head bit.
There's going to be an HIA situation for Josh Maguire. Aaron Woods, who just came from the field, straight back on. So breather. Aaron.
I'm not too sure. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Facebook will look in the field.
He just beat them point blank from the scrum wing. Jared Wallace defending on the left-hand side on the defensive line. I don't know why the front rower is posted out there against a 5'8" by Talatau Amo. Watch this again. Wallace out here defending 2 off the scrum. Can you explain that to me, Blocker?
No, I can't. I can imagine at the other end of the field, but not defensively after you've made a mistake there. Amo just burns him. I love the way that he backed himself here. But what is Wallace doing there?
That is one of the great questions in a season which has produced so many questions regarding the Gold Coast Titans going all the way back to their recruitment and retention leading up to the 2022 season. Jared Wallace defending in the back line from a scrum up against the 5'8" Talatau Amo, the Tongan international.
He wouldn't have been able to believe his eyes when he looks up, gets on the outside and says, "Mate, I'll hurt you. See you later. Hit me."
The tactics have evolved quite obviously with scrums and defensive situations in the past, and well, maybe teams have gotten so used to jumping offside and snuffing out teams that attack from scrum wings that they figure they can put anybody in the back line at the moment, but you can't put Jared Wallace out there.
No, I could imagine it if they were 20 metres out and attacking. He's pretty good with the ball, but not defensively. Just got burnt, got caught flat-footed. Man can't believe he's lucky. He looks up and sees him standing there and goes, "Oh, how good's this? See you later."
I always saw some of the more curious things I've seen in football for some time last night at the SCG of the Tigers' tactics, but boy, that was curious in the extreme what we just saw. This one from Lomax changes the flag once again, that left upright, it stays out. Say the touch judges, so it remains a 10-point lead, 30 points to 20. Downstairs to you, Nico.
Yeah, great effort there from Talatau Amo, coming off that hat-trick last week and celebrating his contract extension. I spoke to Talatau, in fact, after last week's loss in Canberra, and he said he wants to focus on consistency and repaying the coaching staff that put so much faith in him. Also, just an injury update, Josh Maguire and Isaac Liu have both gone on for head injuries, and we'll keep you up to date on those HIAs.
So here we go, so one each team. Maguire and also Isaac Liu for the Gold Coast Titans. So the Dragons still have just one on the bench at the moment. And sitting there is Francis Molo watching on. Why back in the dressing room with the HIA situation going through the protocols. Notice them by out with a hamstring injury and a knee problem for Andrew McCullough.
Talk about taking the air out of the ball after they made the mistake with Wallace. Here's the early kick here. Going for the 40-20 from Hunt. Taking the air out of the ball, I mean, straight away. It looked like the Titans would get themselves back into the game, and all of a sudden, a mistake, and then Wallace defending in the back line. Believe it.
Now Ben Hunt off his line too quickly here. The Dragons jumping the gun, give the Titans a chance to come down the field. Some free metres, kicking into this northeaster. of the afternoon. Beautiful conditions. Temperature in the high teens. Sun beaming down. It's a classic Sunday afternoon of football. Tino Fasuamaleaui. Almost pouring the ground, waiting to get back out there by the looks of it. Lowering look. As he watches his Titans take it forward here.
Tell you what, in his performance here all season and this afternoon, the only attack I'll get him back out there.
Here's Herbert. Play just inside the Dragons' 30. It's going quickly. He worries defenders as well, and Sullivan was his target. Just bounced through his attempt to tackle. He's still going, Greg Marju. Strongest man in the world. Certainly the strongest man in Wollongong this afternoon, given what we've seen again today. An incredible strength. Wallace from dummy half. Here's a chance. Jamin Jolliffe going back to the middle. Jared Wallace looking after dummy half duties at the moment. For Sam McIntyre. Now Isaac Liu is doing there. There is no SASA in the head view, not Isaac Liu, as we've established. Campbell coming back to the right edge. Trying to stop there for fear of running behind David Fafita and giving away an obstruction penalty. Fafita from dummy half. He says, I've got this one covered, Jared. Takes them on from close range. But going around the legs. With some help. Yes, Liu. Goes towards the uprights. Laurie was there, an offload. Wallace the ball out the back to Jamin Jolliffe. Did he get it down? Did he get it down? It looks like the referee thinks he did.
Zadamo underneath there. No try. Just whoever it is, that's a great scramble there from the Dragons.
There is Jolliffe. Wallace. Don't know that we'll see anything that will just be a restore.
They've been over the stripe 3 times. Just desperation defence here from the Dragons. He's held up. There's no way he would have got the ball down there.
Certainly no way we'll be able to see if he got the ball down there.
Look at the ref. We have it on the ground. Have a look.
Justin Holman. He was anxious.
Yeah, mate.
Was all get out.
Yeah, Jamin.
Anxious to see the green lights. He's not going to see them here, though. Bucket confirms what the on-field official Liam Kennedy saw, and Jolliffe denied underneath the uprights for the Titans. And one more tackle remaining here. Jared Wallace at dummy half for Sam McIntyre, getting a breather at the moment. Similar situation in the first half where Sam McIntyre was also defending as a hooker in the back line of a scrum, and Wallace, who is now dummy half, was doing the same thing there on the Teletau and Moan try. It's a tactic that the hooker at times for the Titans defends out of the scrum. I think that tactic needs to be revised.
Yeah, especially when the opposition's attacking, and they've scored tries so easily here this afternoon. Wallace in the dummy half. That's a funny one too. Slow play the ball here.
Here is Better Boyd on the last play. Grimson rubbering, chasing through. Was it forced there? A hand on it from Tautau Moga, and the referee is going to say that was forced in the in-goal area. Scramble. While that was happening, Kobe Ramsey raced from the field to undergo an HIA himself. There was a short one here by the Dragons, getting there. Wallace did well. Links up with Campbell. David Fafita comes across with Jojo Fafita. It's a Fafita fist, and they score in the corner.
Well, they just won't go away, will they? The Titans, after we saw the Dragons score early in the second half, they might have thought, oh, we're just going to run away with this, but the Titans won't go away. Wallace cleans up at the back there from the short kickoff, gets to his feet, offloads the footy straight away. They go right to their right-hand side. And Fafita gets the try. Well done there by Wallace. Straight on there to Campbell, Fafita. Fafita scores.
This work again by Jared Wallace, not tackled there, bounced up, and Campbell sensed where it had to go. David Fafita only had to Shovel it on to Jojo for feeder. Try confirmed by the bunker. The Dragons going short. They pay a price this time around. At the moment, this might be just a 4-point game.
Well, this won't go away. Look at the Titans. The Titans scored 44 points last week against Manly. So they've come here with an attitude to throw that ball around. In the back play there for the Dragons, just shaking his head. This game should have been put to bed 20 minutes ago, I'd say. He'd be thinking, but the Titans have got other ideas.
High scoring game here in Wollongong. Both teams right outside the top 8. Dragons 9 wins, 12 losses. The Titans looking for just their 5th win of the season. Nice gap between themselves and the West Tigers at the bottom of the ladder. If they come away with the points here this afternoon. Boyd. Across his right shoulder, bending it back. It's a terrific kick, and he gets the flags in the air.
I'll tell you what, doesn't that give you a little bit of excitement? It's like the Dragons have put the cue in the rack by the look of it. The Titans have been buoyed by that try. Here they come. A fair bit of possession that they can control the ball. He's starting to move the ball with some offloads now in the last 15 minutes. They won't go wondering here, the Titans.
Dragons led 22 points to 14 at half-time. 30 points to 26 now. And they're down to 13 because at the moment they've got 2 players undergoing head injury assessments. And Josh McGuire and Daddy Ramsey. Here's a high tackle. Bringing it back at some speed as well was Patrick Herbert. Ended up on the front of his back here off the contact. Francis Mola, oh boy, gets him flush on the jaw. And Houston, we have a problem.
Oh, gee, that's a bad one. That, honestly, the way the game is now, that's a send-off. He's hitting flush on the chin. I wonder if they'll have a look at that one.
I think they're having a very, very close look at it. It's going to be a sin bin at a minimum, you would think here, but I wouldn't be surprised like you if he doesn't go for good.
Have a look after the contact right on the jaw, his leg.
Francis Molo sent off for a high contact there on Patrick Herbert, and to be honest, that was a pretty easy decision.
You only have to look at the contact straight on the jaw. Just have a look at his legs crumble underneath him here. Here's the swinging arm right now. Just hitting his legs. And he's gone.
Yeah, that wasn't a beating by a step. That was just an old-fashioned whooshka. That you haven't got there to be in front of the tackle player, but you're still going to go on with the contact anyway and throw that left arm, and got him flush on the jaw as well. So, well, they were down to the bare 13 a moment ago. Now they're down to 12 for the remainder of the game, and still nobody on the bench at this point in time for the Dragons. Patrick Herbert being taken to the dressing room. He is very sick and sorry. And Francis Molo, with only 2 games remaining, it's fair to say we won't see him again in action this season, and maybe for quite a few games at the beginning of 2023.
And good work by Justin Holbrook straight away. Fasul Malawi straight back on the field and straight into the action.
The skipper takes it across the halfway line. Still, it's got 17 minutes remaining here. The Gold Coast trailing by 4, but to finish against 12 men. Josh McGuire back on the bench for the Dragons, so they do have a replacement. They only have 12 on the field for the remainder of this one. Actually, you. Let's go in quickly. Stop there in the middle by DeBellin, but also Blake Laurie. Wallace looking up things at dummy half. Boyd to Campbell. The outside of Ben Hunt. He wraps him up a one-on-one tackle just outside the Dragons' 10. What a great service from dummy half. Wallace swings it back to Tanner Boyd. Comes back to feet up. Held up there. Throws a ball out the back. Must get back through Turner. He puts up a cross kick. Sumala Ali flew, no touch. Sits up here for Tautau Moga. He bends away from one. And not the last play of the set of 6 the Titans were hoping for, and instead they turn it over pretty cheaply. Back here for Jaden Sewell, who to run over the top there, and Jamin Jonathan did so.
There's still plenty of time left on the clock. They've got to show a little bit more patience in that. The Titans, it's a terrible end of the set. They give the Dragons the opportunity to march into their half.
Josh McGuire will return from the HIA. He's past the protocol. Bird for the Lomax, two centres linking up for the moment on this right-hand side of the field. Dragons with a couple more plays in this set of 6. Still minus 6-point lead, but down to 12. Here is Aaron Wood to the man to be replaced by Josh McGuire. Here is Cyril at the line. Jeff Bird, he gives it off to Telltale Moga. Now he has a double, and with 12 men, the Dragons score short-handed against the Gold Coast.
Well, can you believe it? Just a set play there. Second man play. Bird involved again. As soon as he got the ball, the catch and pass on the outside of Moga. The Dragons really against the run of play. There it is, the short ball. Sewer, the catch and pass. Just didn't number up right that time. Right at the line, you see Sewer go. Bird straightens up. Loves it on the outside of Bird there to score.
Line try. Correctly so back in the 21st minute after it scored in the 18th minute. Waits here and makes this a meaningful lead now. Still just under 14 minutes remaining. They're down to 12. The lead will be more than a converted try. 34 points to 26. And Lomax to try and convert from just beside the uprights. For a 10-point lead. We'll see if they can hang on in these closing minutes.
Yeah, right back to that last play in the set. The Titans were really on the Dragons' line, and they come away with 4 kick. Moga cleaned it up so comfortably. And they marched downfield and are good enough to score. A little bit of a trust thing on their left-hand defence there for the Titans. 2 players going in to tackle 1. You can't do it. That gives the overlap. The catch and pass from Bird. He's had a day out here this afternoon. Sets up another try.
Well, the next one, he uses some time on the clock. The referee has blown time off at the moment. Only 12 men trying to make the play as much as they can. The Dragons, imagine, in this run to the final siren. Just on 13 minutes remaining against the Dragons, who lead the Gold Coast 36-26. Down to you, Nico.
Well, excellent play there from Telltale Moga. Scored last week, got another here today. For a bloke who's been through so much in his career, 4 knee reconstructions. In fact, today he's playing in his 6th consecutive game for the first time since 2019 when he was playing for the Knights. Awesome to see him in a little purple patch. Also, guys, just letting you know, Cody Ramsey has passed his HIA. He'll be back in about 5 minutes after he served his time. Also, Corey Thompson has been activated as the 18th man for the Titans.
Situation for the Gold Coast Knights. Corey Thompson coming to play here as the 18th man today. So it's Patrick Herbert in HIA early on. For Sami, the same situation. And also Herman Esa, the third player to the moment. So just confirming that at the moment is the Dragons work it away. Woods is still out there for St George Illawarra and takes it up towards the halfway line, although he's lost it. He thinks it was ripped out, but they used up their captain's challenge in the first half. A fairly frivolous one by Jack Bird, so the Gold Coast will get automatic possession here.
It's almost like they're handing the field position. Again, the Titans, if they're good enough, they could win this game. They've been held up over the line a few times. And on the attack here, they've been behind for the bulk of the game. They're a man down now, the Saints.
Cody Ramsey, unsurprisingly, has passed his HIA. As here is Jaden Campbell, mounted off with Dave Turnmore, by Lomax and also Moga. The Titans begin inside the Dragons 20 when they were going to begin. They put it down on play number 1. They Fergal can't believe it, but I think, well, perhaps we saw a couple of Titans taking a liberty in the tackle on Aaron Woods before the ball. But something similar may have happened here, given the reaction of Bo Kern. Watch this again. Possession of the ball there. James Sewell over the top. Bo Kern was saying, I never dropped it, sir.
He's saying he never lose it. So there was some hands on the ball there. There's no scrimming action. Let's see how he got the ball there.
It's not here.
One each way. The Dragons backing out from their own 20. And the Raiders beyond this, the round out incredible round 23 with 9 points.
Yelling at you because you don't listen.
They started last weekend
You
on
don't know
the
what you're
Premiership.
trying to do.
Record books at times, certainly last night at the SCG. Here's a chance and a gun to link up through the middle, pouring onto it. A chance there with Fiona, grabbed by Fasuma Awi. Coming down and save the try, perhaps save the Titans a chance in this game. Third out of dummy half. Sullivan gets going. Fergal is there to wrap him up. We're still just inside the Gold Coast 10. Last play, short side. One match. Moga has a hat-trick. Telltale Moga scores. 3 for the afternoon, and they are very close to wrapping this one up now.
He's some sort of player, Ben Hunt. If you have a look at it, they come back down the short side again. He calls the ball. Take the Bellum with a one-handed offload. That was a beauty. Plenty of pace. They reload and go up the short side again. And Hunt with a perfectly timed pass. Look at that. That's brilliant. On the Lomax, Mogo gets a hat-trick.
Again, with 12 men against 13, they scored 2
down in the net. A man off the field. Capitalised on their opportunities. Every time they've been down 20, 30 metres out. They look so good with their attack. It all started with the Bellum offload in the middle of the ruck. They reload, go to short side and score.
The Dragons here, and that's 6 teams this weekend. Scored 40 points or more. That's the first time that has ever happened. This level, first grade rugby league in Australia. 6 teams in one round scored.
Where's he going now? Probably talking to some boys on the way. He's probably talking to some boys on the way.
Maybe everyone.
Boys on the way.
Maybe everyone who can't make the 8 has decided that defence is something that goes round the ground.
Must be. Here is Lomax to make this go around the uprights. And forward out to the right-hand side. So it stays at 40 points for 26. But after all the travails, all the injuries in his first-grade career, Telltale Moga has a hat-trick. It began back in 2012, 10 long years ago at the Roosters. The Cowboys, time in the Broncos, the Knights for 3 seasons. Last season, played just the 1 game. And now here in game number 8 this year, he now has 6 tries in the Dragons in 2022. It's been an amazing journey, as we said, all those knee reconstructions. Great moment for him. The Titans go short. They come up with possession through.
And one of the Dragon players there got sent off the field for, like, when he tackled the Titans player there, he, like, grabbed the neck and just pulled him down by the neck.
But it's been all the Dragons from that point on, remarkable.
Yeah, they've got opportunity and the field position to win this game, haven't they? The Titans, as I said, they've been pulled up a couple of times over the line, at least 3 times. The Dragons have been good enough to go down the other end and score every time they've gone down there.
Running hard, finds it back on the inside. That was an absolute prayer of a pass from the back. Blake Lawrence falls for the Dragons and tells you a lot about the Gold Coast Titans. I know they're desperate and there's only 8 minutes remaining and they trail by 14, but can't be throwing crazy passes like that.
Well, that's the other thing too. It looked to me like they've panicked. There's 16 minutes left on the clock when the Dragons went down. And since then, their completion has been pretty ordinary. And that tells me that they've panicked a little bit.
Here, full ball coming free in the tackle. The Dragons happy to take up more time on the clock. It's just can't take a trip. Number 6, Francis Molo was sent off back in the 63rd minute. There was 17 minutes remaining. Cutting ball just the try. So drama here in Wollongong this afternoon. We'll see if there's drama in the Donald Jones Stadium beyond this one. And the Raiders going up as we speak. Massive game for Canberra. They win all 3 of their remaining games and slip their way into the top 8. Here is Jaden Silk, right next down.
He's like Oliver.
Thereby,
He's such a little mistress of shit. He's only a puppy though.
playing just outside the 30. Slowly played the ball in. Knows what his hand caught up in the arm of Lomax. Bell stopped there. Very effective tackle by David Bell. Got his line very quickly. And then they've heard here. Awkward looking tackle. He's got a clutching an elbow. Just the upper arm. Pretty awkward. All he does is extending that arm. And that always is a bit scary when you get that extension of the arm and that potential for the subluxation of the shoulder, as it's known in the physio world. Should be okay, Jeff the Bell. Hunt or Ramsey past his HIA. They come back to the middle. Here's Bird fending. A career out of doing that.
Hey, that's right, baby. You're a whole guy you can pull it now. Don't worry about standing anything at the moment. At the moment. I'll change my next week.
Good for Dummy Hart. Through the Bell. He's up at the numbers on his left-hand side. Chance for Sullivan, puts it in behind, defender under pressure there. Rounds it up to stay just in the field of play.
It was a nice clean up there at the back of the feeder. Just attack the ball.
What are you doing there?
Your mama.
No, that's not what you're doing.
They had the numbers, but they clean up the back again, the Titans.
That's it.
Huh? No. But I have a problem with you though. You'd look at me funny there.
Just runs over the top of people for fun. Not as big as Tino, but boy, he could go. Dragged here by Hunt. Straight through the middle of the Dragons' defensive line. Fonolaki gets moving here. Finds Brimson. Staying alive. Was a long ball over the top when he fired. Then he got a touch. 6 more for the Titans. Turner. Here's Campbell. Grabbed by the pole by Lomax. He's trying to do a Gordon Terrace. Brett Hodgson style tackle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
After the Titans resented the tackle from Lomax, and the boys getting a bit frisky with it.
Can't go well to frisky.
Comes straight in. Goals are still at loggerheads. The Lockwood tackle through in the row 22nd. 40.
No. No.
Jared Wallace said, hang on, Zach, that's enough of that. And
Hey,
then
no.
Josh McGuire, who
The Dragons and Titans were fighting because the Dragon player was dragging the Titans away from the touch.
they can't see you. And Lomax got up and added his 2 cents worth.
Go.
Yeah.
Play on here after all of that. Titans will play the one.
Oh, yeah, I'm over there. I'll find it. They're over here.
Must have been a short
Have
whistle.
a crack down there, you're on the corner.
Yeah, a short whistle. Who knew there was a short whistle? It was discovered in 2022. The Brian Trucker.
And then the jump one.
I think Diane was going to be there.
You can have some dating You have some dating She didn't think so. I'm trying to say my birthday when you Are you good then? Alright.
He's ready for action though.
That for the Titans to catch up, that is that in the time? That if the Titans will catch up, that means they'll have to score in time, yeah? When the Canberra Raiders play Knights, if the Canberra Raiders lose this game against the Knights, Canberra Raiders season is completely done and dusted. Do you see that red thing up there? Yeah, it's because one Dragon player got sent off because he grabbed the neck and pulled it.
The Dragons will work it away.
Well, I don't really care who wins this game now. The Titans are trash anyway. Aren't they though? Yeah, I don't go for the sim anyway, I like to watch the games, so...
The better of the point score. That is quite incredible.
Move your halves and take control. When the opposition's down and try and pick up where the gaps are. They just haven't done that. They've just rushed every set that they've had.
Well...
His pass goes round.
The Titans off to New Zealand in 2 weeks' time against the Warriors. And last time these things, well, in round 25 last year, the Titans gave the Warriors a bit of a flogging, 40-0. Some good stepping. Can you do that? Step good, is it?
You know what they call that?
Huh?
They call that sidestep.
Sidestep, yeah, no.
I invented it.
No? Because sidesteps are like all over the news. Like it's on the news, isn't it? Huh? I try. Oh yeah, that. Yeah, 44 to 26. Well, that game's over. Well, that game's done. Dragons will win.
He took the ball on the full. That was a great take. Showed great ability to keep his feet here. They don't stop that this afternoon when they've got in a good position. Look at that take. Good tackle tap. Keeps his feet. Bird along with Hunt here on the best players on the field. He finishes it off for the Dragons. A great catch. He had to balance the ball away. He's always been possessed of great balance as a runner. That's why he can bend as well as he does. Just has that ability to absorb contact and stay on his feet. And do that right there. And that'll put the Titans away. Another massive scoreline here in this round 23. Dragons 44. It's quite remarkable. Since Molo was sent off, we've had tries, 2 of them to Tautau Moga, and now 1 to Jack Burke. All the point scoring done by the team with 12 men. That's to the point of being embarrassing for the Gold Coast Titans. Point stops here. A couple of tackles before full-time siren. They'll have a chance of cracking the half-century. Lomax has kicked well this afternoon in slightly breezy conditions. He makes it 46 points to 26. Well, he's been everything this afternoon, hasn't he, Jack Bird? Just wonderful balance, power. Set up a couple of tries. Here's the catch and pass. Wonderfully skilled. He finishes the game off there. Comes in the space there. That was the start of the second half. That was a great try. And just wraps the game right up. another try here. Catches the ball in the full shows great balance. He's had a day out for.
I like to go short. Lomax is up above everybody. No surprise there again. He's made 3 or 4 catches this afternoon in similar situations. He'll play it here. 30 seconds remaining. Time for one last shot. Let's see what they've got in their bag of tricks at the back end of the game. Try and crack 50 points. Point for Sullivan. Their last appearance at Wollongong for the year, they say a good one today. She's coming off the back of it. Hamstring strain for Rosen Bryan, knee injury for Andrew McCulloch as well. And the send-off of Francis Molo. They won't stop and celebrating here this evening. Big hunt to the line, takes Jalen Sewell with him. Just stay alive. Now he submits in the tackle.